So you've studied tons of esoteric material. You've studied things like the Law of One. You know that Jesus Christ was talking about all of us being gods. You know that the same message that the Buddha, Krishna, Rama, that all of these spiritual leaders taught is essentially the same. How do you get to a point where you're operating from a position of love? There's plenty of 4, 5, 10-step message or programs to help you get from here to there, and this isn't one of those videos. This is a video that's going to help you to think about certain situations in your life where you potentially had the opportunity to operate from a position of love, and maybe in those situations you didn't take it. I'm hoping by the end of this video, you flip that ratio and you start to take opportunities to show unconditional love when you get them. What does it mean to operate from a position of love? To operate from a position of love, you need to understand what love is. It's difficult to try to quantify something as vast as love into a simple statement. It's easier to talk about what love is not to give you an idea of what love actually is. Love is not spiteful. Love is not hateful. Love is not envious. Love is not doubtful. Love does not sow hate. Love does not gossip. Love is not gossip. There's a lot of activities that we engage in on the regular that do not fall in a definition of love. But we happily engage in these activities, and we turn a blind eye whenever somebody calls out these activities, usually because we can see the flaws in the person who's calling them out. So if we don't want to get called out by another soul, and if we study this type of material because we actively want to change our lives, we want to do something different, we want to be something better, how do we begin to lessen the amount of time on a day-to-day basis that we spend doing activities that are counterintuitive to love? Why is it harmful to do activities that are counterintuitive to love, that align with some of the things that I said and things that stem from them? Why is that harmful? It's harmful because every moment of every given day, your thoughts are radiating at a certain frequency. And the frequency that your thoughts are radiating at, when the light waves leave your head, that's the frequency that's returned to you, magnified. So when you're operating and doing things that are not in alignment with love, what you're doing is you're creating scenarios where you will have to encounter that frequency again and again. And if you're repeating that cycle every day, now you understand why your life is cyclical. Now you understand why you can't break out of that addiction. Now you understand why these patterns keep playing themselves over and over and over again. So how do we begin recognizing actions that align with love? Well, you have to think about times that you've received love, times that you may or may not have deserved it, but somebody showed you patience and kindness. Somebody was understanding. Somebody was generous and didn't expect anything in return. The time that that stranger just allowed you to lean on them, put their arm around you, spoke a good word, gave you a smile. Because of the range of our relationships, where whatever your orientation is, the type of interactions that you have vary. The level of communication that you have with people varies. Because you can have relationships that degrade and turn sore or hurt you at different points in time. It can be very difficult to maintain a frame of having and operating in a frequency of love for everyone. If you believe in a conditional love as a true love, and you run into this material talking about going beyond the law of attraction to why a law of attraction exists, it can be daunting to you with a belief of conditional love as being the true love to try to think about how you can really love everybody. If love is conditional and somebody tells you they love everybody, you think that they're bullshitting, because your conditional idea of love tells you there's no way that they can do this particular thing for everybody. Therefore, they can't love everybody. They're wrong. I remember when I was in a frequency where I hated everybody, where I had come to a conclusion and had a firm belief based off of evidence that I thought I saw around me, that if I try to communicate with people simply because of who I am, because of what my name is, they just won't want to hear it. Simply because I look a certain way, people won't want to hear what's coming out of my mouth. The message won't be received. Or if I don't kiss ass and deliver this message in a way that placates everyone's feelings, I won't be able to deliver the message at all. I used to believe that my goal in life was to find the right time to end my life. And for me, stumbling into this information for coming from the frequency that I was coming from, it was more validation for me. It was, oh, we're all gods? Okay, cool. Now I know that there's no repercussion for me choosing to end my life, because I can choose whatever I want. Do you see how dangerous that is? Now, when I was operating in that frequency where I start seeing synchronicities around me because of where I'm resonating at that align with, yeah, you should end your life. And I go from that to making videos like this, where I don't care if I look messed up, or I don't care if I stumble on my words, or if my video isn't edited, or if I ain't got the perfect thumbnail. What I care about is the message that I'm sending, and whether or not there's one word that I say that pulls someone who's where I was away from that edge. You can have everyone in your life turn their back on you, ridicule you, and treat you like you're less than. You can have that feeling that there's nowhere that you can turn to or nowhere that you can go. And then you run into this video on this channel, The Spark. And it ignites a fire inside of you. And you share that fire, and that fire is love. If I can spark a little bit of love in you and it grows and it outpictures itself, then maybe you'll see. Maybe your confidence will increase just a bit. Maybe you'll take that chance that you've been thinking about. Maybe when somebody is frustrated about a situation that doesn't involve you, but because of their lack of understanding, their ignorance, they take it out on you, instead of you thinking poorly about them, which is thinking poorly about you. You recognize what's going on and you pull them out of that mental state and see them how they really would like to be seen. How do we all want to be seen? I don't want to quantify that. I think the truth is that we all just want to be seen. We don't want our flaws to take precedence over who we are. So can you see someone minus their flaws? Can you erase the flaws in their mind? So what, they made a misstep? So what, they misspoke? So what, they may have yelled at you? So what, they did this? So what, they did that? Every situation in their life led up to the moment where they did that. And you don't know every situation in their life. Judge not, lest you be judged. We're only judged when we judge other people. There is no judge that comes down and judge us. It's us judging others and therefore judging ourselves. And then when conditions present themselves in our lives that represent our judgment of ourselves, we run and scream and say, "Oh God, what's going on?" Or we get depressed and say, "I don't understand this. How did I create this?" Or you don't even take responsibility for the creation. I'm telling you right now, if you're driving and a bird swoops down and your car narrowly misses it, that's something that happens for a reason. Everything in your life is something that happens for a reason. It's something that you called in. It's something that you can find a message in. That doesn't mean search everything to find messages and everything. No, that's not what this is about. You'll drive yourself crazy that way. That's not what this is. But when something stands out to you, or when you get an inkling to speak to a person, to just go out of your way to do something for a person, what's happening is there are thoughts that have gone out. Maybe there's someone who has faith that a situation will be worked out for them, right? They're using the law. They've surrendered the how. So here comes you in their vicinity. Your energies are attracted to each other. You have the ability to provide a service to someone. You have the ability to be the conduit of a miracle for someone. And you may not even know that it's a miracle to them. But you get an inkling, you get this gut feeling to go out and do something for somebody. To pull over on the side of the road and just hand them some money. Not just a couple bucks, hand them some money. Take them to get some food. Get this family some clothes. Or maybe you don't have the resources to do things like that. But you get the inkling to tell this person that they're beautiful. Tell this person that they look radiant. Tell them you really like their smile. Or just tell them that you see the God in them. Because nowadays, you know what? You tell some people that they're beautiful and they think the wrong thing. And if you look a certain way, they look at you like you're a predator. And I've been there too. So sometimes you just tell them that you love the God that you see in them. Can't nobody misconstrue the message when you just tell them you love the God that you see in them. It's easy for us to allow outside influences to cause us to hate. If enough of us choose to operate from a position of love, imagine if we switch this thing around so that all the outside influences are influencing us to love. We can make this world however we want to make it. That's what's fun. That's what's really, really cool about this. One person waking up is cool. But when you realize what minds that are resonating at the same frequency, with the same level of emotion, when you realize what they create, now we're really playing the game of life. Now we're really playing it from a position of love. We can see who we can be. Now make a video about pendulums, egregores, combined thought forms from groups of people. Because there's a lot of information on it, and a lot of the information is about the negative side of group thought forms. But if you understand this law, if you understand who we are, then you realize that's just polarizing yourself to the negative side of it. There is a great positive. There's entities out there that do good. There's entities out there that give more to souls than they take from souls. And if we're all conscious and we're all aware that we have the power to create, we can create more of these entities. And we can start to shut down harmful and destructive entities that put us in a mind state of being less than, in a mind state of lack. If something that I said in this video resonates with you or gave you some type of thought about how you can potentially, in your day-to-day life, show more love, operate from a position of love, feel free to like, subscribe, and I'll keep these videos coming. I'll get better, the editing and all of that good stuff, but the message is the most important part. So let's get there. I love you. I want to see the fullest expression of you. The collective needs to see the fullest expression of you. We're in a time now where it's important for people to be themselves. It's important for people to understand that it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to stand up to hate, violence, and negativity. It's okay to be a voice of reason. It's okay to be a voice of love. This is the